Good morning. How are you? Happy Tuesday to you guys. You saw the headline. You saw the headline, right? Lazy. I got called lazy. Social media. It is insane, but yes, I got called lazy. That was a new one for me. That's one of the rare things I don't think I've ever been called in my life is lazy, but some daring person on TikTok decided to call me lazy. I found that very funny. So I thought I would share with you guys a little bit about the TikTok that made someone call me lazy and share with you why I am educating on this topic. So I made a TikTok. Let me find this real quick and I'll share it so I can concentrate here. I made a TikTok the other day on pre-approval and why it's important for you guys to get pre-approved before you house hunt. And here we go. Share. Where are you? Hang on one sec. There we go. Okay. So I made this TikTok about why it's important to get educated on basically like pre-approval, why you should get pre-approved before you house hunt. And the comments were nasty. There was a lot of nasty comments saying that I was lazy, that, that I won't last in this business. There was, what else? Hateful people, they would go, well, what about cash? There was just all kinds of stuff. There was people coming to my defense too. So they were saying why you want to obtain a pre-approval first, but I found it hysterical. You guys, it is so important to have a pre-approval before you start house hunting. And this is not because I'm lazy and I don't want to show you houses, okay? Go to my TikTok if you get time and check it out. Watch the video, read the comments. You will laugh your butt off. But this is why, okay? They felt that by me not showing houses to people without a pre-approval that I was being lazy. Well, these are all the reasons why I feel it is important to get a pre-approval before you start shopping. This has nothing to do with me not wanting to take the time to show you 8, 10, 12, 25, 50 houses. I have clients who I've worked with for well over a year to find the home of their dreams, and we've seen plenty. They felt terrible about making me look that long, but I have no worries about that. If that's how long it takes, that's how long it takes. But I can't spend a year with a buyer who ends up not being able to buy the home in the end, okay? And that's not even my top reason. That's just God's honest truth because I have a ton of other clients, okay? And so if I'm taking the time to spend a year with somebody and they end up not being able to buy that house, one, I'm straight commission, so I just lost a year of time that I could have been making money on somebody else for my business, okay? Two, I've spent all of this time showing them homes and all those sellers are put out, okay? Every single time we've seen a home. So anyway, let's just go through them and we'll talk about it. So, number one, a pre-approval is going to help you identify any obstacles such as having too much debt or a low credit score. Okay, so you're going to be able to know right off the bat, do I need to work on my credit? Do I need to cut some debt somehow? It's very important to find out this information early on so you can work on that ASAP. It will help you to identify the price range in which you feel most comfortable carrying the mortgage. I'm not worried about you, being pre-approved for top dollar. That may not be your comfort zone. So you want to get pre-approved, and let's say you're pre-approved for $300,000, but you're more comfortable making the payment of a home that's $225,000, then that's where we need to be looking. So this is going to help you identify that. All right, we don't want you house poor. We do not want you house poor. I don't want to see that home foreclosed on a few years later. That would break my heart. It's going to break your heart. We don't want that. I want you in a home that you love, and that's, of course, going to ultimately be a reflection on me and how I helped you too, and you're going to want to refer business to me that way. So obviously that is the way I want to go. I want to find you guys the right house in the right budget. It helps you to focus on the homes that you can afford. So this is going to help you narrow down your search, cut out all of the homes that you cannot afford, so the inventory is lower. You can look at those homes that fall into your bracket much more carefully and take your time really understanding the homes that are falling into your search and finding the right one for you. You can select the best loan type, so you can prepare for the money you may need down or decide if you want to even ask the sellers for closing costs potentially. So pre-approval will help you establish what type of loan, which ultimately can tell us what type of homes to look at. For example, if you are looking at, doing a government loan, many cases, these foreclosures, for example, that you want to see are not going to qualify for that loan. They need too much work and the sellers can't do them because it's Fannie Mae or HUD or, USDA or whoever. So that is a big reason why on the initial pre-approval, it's important to know our loan type so we know what type of homes to be looking at also. We can ask for closing costs. So if we know financially you're going to need the closing costs to make a deal happen, we can know that from the get-go, make a plan when we offer, and potentially ask for those closing costs in the offer. It is not going to benefit you to make an offer without having talked to a bank. It's just not, you guys. You need these details so that we can write a strong, confident offer and potentially get the deal that we want, and hopefully less out of pocket for you too. Showings are a lot on sellers, you guys. If any of you have sold a home, you know it is a lot. It is cleaning, it is mowing, it is taking kids out of the house every single time somebody calls. Pets, they need to be removed typically, or locked up in a kennel of some sort. And my biggest thing is sellers are emotional. They're already moving and leaving, and emotions are running really high. And so, they get their hopes up every single showing. Oh, could this be the one? What does that mean? If they end up offering, do I need to move really quick? What's going to happen? There's a lot of emotions in all of that. And so it's really, really important to not be putting sellers out unless absolutely necessary. And right now with COVID, come on. Who wants everybody through their house? If pre-approvals were important before, it is tenfold now, you guys. It is tenfold because sellers do not want to just let everybody come through their house. They're going to want serious people who really can afford the home. You could be pre-approved and still this home is out of budget for you. Hopefully agents are not showing you those homes, but you've got to really know where your financial position is so you can find the right home and the right budget for you. From the agent standpoint, I mentioned this a little bit before. Our time is valuable as well. We work with a lot of different clients and we work on straight commission. That means if you don't close on a home, we don't get paid. Okay? I can spend 2 years with you. I don't get paid unless you buy a house. So you need to understand that, when an agent says, hey, go ahead and get your pre-approval, don't be offended by that. It is because we have a big client load for one, and I can't spend months with you when I have other people who are all trying to see homes too. There's only so many days and hours in a week. So it's very, very important to go ahead and get that pre-approval. So pre-approval will save you from disappointment too. This is not just an agent cooperation type of thing. This is about not just agents and sellers, but also buyers. So from your perspective, it's going to save you from disappointment. You could shop and shop and shop and then finally fall in love with a house and not be able to get it. Do you know the disappointment in that? It is devastating, especially if you've taken your kids through and things like that. They've picked out rooms. It is devastating. So save yourself from disappointment. Let me read some of these, sorry. You're not lazy, you're smart, you're taking advantage. Yes, thank you, Steve. Thank you. Thank you guys all for joining too. Pre-approval tells your seller of the home that you select that you're a serious buyer. So if you get into a situation where you know, and this is happening all the time right now because I've already talked to you guys about this. This is a low inventory market. So there's a lot of competing offers and sellers getting either top dollar or above asking price, and the homes are flying off the shelf. And you know, it is very important to have that pre-approval when you go to offer, because in a multiple offer situation, if you are a pre-approved buyer and you're going against somebody who's not pre-approved, guess which one that seller is going to want to choose? They want somebody who knows that they can get the loan, that they can financially afford the home, and that likely they're going to follow through because they've been serious about it and talked to a bank. Pre-approval letters typically are going to show you these pieces of information. Maximum loan amount. Once again, just because you're pre-approved for $300,000 doesn't mean that's necessarily where you want to spend or how much you want to spend. But your pre-approval letter will typically tell you how much max you can buy. Type of loan. It's going to tell you if you are using a USDA, a VA, a conventional loan, whatever you've discussed with your lender in the loan type that you've selected. Now you can shop rates later. You can get a pre-approval and not lock in your rate necessarily. So talk to your lender about that. If the rates are not the best when you go to get your pre-approval, you can kind of float that for a little bit. So talk to your lender about that. You also, if you get a pre-approval from one bank and you decide you want to go with another, that's okay too. So don't feel locked in if that bank is not servicing you well. Your pre-approval also is going to show you the terms of the financing, how long it is, the interest rate, if you've agreed to one, all of that. Your pre-approval letter will have an expiration date. So your pre-approval is only good for so long, typically 60 to 90 days, just depending on your financial institution. So, you know, that is something that has to be renewed if you don't find a house in that time frame. So you want to get your pre-approval when you're serious about hunting. Down payment amount. Your down payment amount, it will talk to you about how much potentially that you need to bring to the closing table. If you want a down payment in your loan, then you know that's something that can be told to you up front about how much you need. And that's once again something I was talking to you about with closing costs and things that we can work into the deal potentially with the seller. Any additional documents you may need may be a part of that pre-approval. They may give you some potential documents that you need to provide and such. Just depends on each individual financial institution on what they require and what they ask of you. I always tease that they take everything but a blood sample from you. It's pretty true, so get prepared. And do everything timely. The best thing you can do for your lender is turn in documents super, super timely. If they ask you for something, turn it around really quick. There are lots of things that will likely happen in deals. And if you're working with me, I give you what's called a buyer's Bible when you first start looking. And that buyer's Bible has a lot of recommendations of things not to do during the loan process. And it also talks to you about just the things that you need to prepare throughout the process, okay? And it also has great trusted providers, so it gives you a lot of referrals if you need home inspectors, termite inspectors, you know, appraisers, surveyors, whatever you need. So reach out to me if you are buying a home. I would love to help you. My number to reach me is 304-415-7111. I promise you I'm not lazy, guys. I am not lazy, but I cannot do my clientele a disservice by working with somebody for a year and a half that I can't get pre-approved. And here I am telling qualified buyers, I can't show tonight, I can't show tonight, I can't show tonight. It does not work for realtors, so don't hold them accountable for that. You would do the same thing if it was your job and you were 100% commission and you had to pick and choose who you spend that time with, because there's only 7 days in a week. You guys all have a great Tuesday. I love you all. Appreciate your support. Please share this video. I know somebody needs this video after reading all those comments on TikTok. You guys have a great day.